Mongolians around the world have all kinds of names and last names, adapting to the local customs and cultures. Those living in Russia have adopted Russian three-part structure naming with patronymic and family name inherited from father and gender-specific forms for both. For example, Balginimayev Aldar Leonidovich, Aldar is his name, Balginima is his family name, and his dad has a Russian name Leonid. Alima Jargalovna Ayusheva is another Buryat name. Alima means apple, Jargalovna means her father is Jargal, means happiness. Ayusheva is her family name. Ayushi, from what I know, is a Mongolian hero. Or this Kalmyk singer Diana Boschomjieva, her family name comes from Boschomj. The younger generation already fully adopts Russian names than Mongolian names. We can only tell from their family names. Mongolians from Inner Mongolia don't have their family names written on official documents, and since in passport systems we're not allowed to not have family names and are allowed to not have first names, our names are normally put into family names field. That ends up with a lot of F and U's in the United States for that reason, or Madame XXX or Monsieur XXX in France. Some Inner Mongolians from the Northeast have also adapted to Chinese naming, adopting Chinese names completely. Some of them transitioned to Chinese family names just by comparing the meaning and didn't preserve the original pronunciation. In Ming Dynasty, a lot of Mongolian descendants changed their names and family names to Chinese ones to avoid persecution. For example, in Henan province, a village full of people with Li family name only because the ancestor wanted to let them remember that they are the descendants of Mukhle, thus Mu Zi. Mongolians from Mongolia use their father's name as surnames. Батыр Зоргийн Батцыг means her father is Батыр Зориг. Эрдэн Батын Бэх Баяр means his father is Эрдэн Бат. In means in English, and on their IDs in the family name field we have tribe name. My friend from Mongolia told me that this field is normally made up because almost no one actually remembers their real family names anymore. And why is that? How did Mongolian family names originate and change over time? Like the history of human evolution, Mongolian family names evolved alongside the development of Mongolian society through the separation and unification of tribes. We have two key concepts, ovog and aimag. Ovog refers to the clan name representing the ancestral bloodline and was originally matrilineal. Aimag, on the other hand, is usually geographical or occupational and comes from the patrilineal line. It's often translated as a tribal name. From the 9th to the 11th century, Mongolian society transitioned from matriarchal to patriarchal, forming two major factions, Dirile Mongol and Nuro Mongol. From 12th century to the beginning of 13th century, Чингис хаан 48 аймаг 72 овгийн Монгол угсаадны нэгтгэж 35 хариу угсаагийг номогдохоор Монголын төрийг байгуулсан. Жалгаад 12 хариу улсыг иргэшээлдээ оруулж монголчуудыг төм мянга жуугаар жахирсан цэргийн зохион байгуулалтад багтаасан нь Монголын овог аймгийн бүрэлдэхүүн ба дархалтын талаарх хоёрдогч удаанаа ихэнх хувиралт болно. From the late 14th century to the mid-16th century, during the Northern Yuan dynasty, especially under Dayan Han and his descendants, Mongolians became increasingly fragmented. Family names began to be identified by region, marking what is considered the third major shift in the evolution of Mongolian surnames. Between the late 16th and mid-17th centuries, frequent wars, political chaos, and eventual submission to the Manchu Qing dynasty led to widespread migration and fragmentation of Mongol tribes and kin groups. A new type of kinship began to form. The Qing government feared the unity of the Mongols. There was a saying, "Үл хурвал борон болох уу, Монгол чуглавал чирэг болох уу." The Qing dynasty took various measures to weaken Mongol unity, such as encouraging strategic intermarriage and, more importantly, dividing the Mongols into smaller, competing groups to prevent collective resistance. Every member of the Mongolian nobility was assigned a rank within the Qing aristocracy, which had a total of 10 ranks. Separate administrative structures were created for each region. The banner system, a military, political, and social structure founded by Norkhach in the early 17th century, was implemented. There were 49 banners in Inner Mongolia and 57 in Outer Mongolia. Please note, historical Inner and Outer Mongolia do not correspond exactly to today's Inner Mongolia and independent Mongolia. This period marks the fourth transformation of Mongolian tribal structures and surnames. People increasingly identify themselves not by their true tribal origins, such as which clan or folk they came from, but by their Hoshu and aimag. For example, I'm from the Wushan banner of the Ichzhou aimag became the norm. At the beginning of the 20th century, some Mongolians were forced to adopt Chinese surnames, while others did so voluntarily. This period is regarded as the fifth major transformation in the evolution of Mongolian surnames. In most cases, people translated the meanings of their Mongolian clan names into equivalent Chinese surnames. For example, Huchit becomes Chen, Shirnut becomes Huang, Chagan becomes Bai, Ongnut becomes Wang or Niu. Mongolian surname has its own traits after ancestors' name Barin, Besut, Belgunut, Khathin, the prize name they receive, Tarkhat, Urlugud, name of a country, Tangut, Sartut, name of an ethnicity, Manjut, Sharhitat, eye colors, Burjigin, Harnut, Sharnut, military organization, Tumut, Myangan, name of palaces, Yunshabu, Ordos, nature or hometown names, Hanggai, Oranghe, color of their own livestock, Ulanut, Huanut, totem and beliefs, Tingir Dudakch, Hun Dakhikch, the way people look, posture, Atarhin, Budat, nicknames, Hirid, Nuchkut, by their jobs, Adochin, Hurchin, by their rank titles, Taj, Dawunang, by status, Sharnut Kharchin, Harnut Kharchin, and much more. Now let's talk about Mongolian names. The names of the Mongolian people incorporate many Tibetan and Sanskrit names. With the spread of Tibetan Buddhism into Mongolian regions, including Inner Mongolia, the local Mongolian people's political, economic, cultural, medical, artistic lifestyle and customs were profoundly influenced. Temples began to be established in Mongolian areas, and many Mongolian men became lamas, entering monasteries to chant scriptures. Notably, becoming a lama required adopting a Tibetan name, and many educated individuals of the time were lamas. As Tibetan Buddhism further permeated society, it became common for children to be given auspicious Tibetan or Sanskrit names at birth. Even today, many Mongolian names still reflect Tibetan influences. For example, Dorje means ritual weapon in Tibetan Buddhism, Rinchen means precious jewel, Sudur means scripture, Chendaman means wish-fulfilling jewel. Of course, it's also common to combine two Tibetan or Sanskrit names such as Dorje Rinchen, which clearly joins two Tibetan words. In Inner Mongolia, long and combined Tibetan names are becoming less common. Only elder people have these kind of names now. Even two Mongolian word combo names are becoming more and more rare. For example, Sarantunal means moonlight in a literary sense. I have classmates that have a single-worded Sanskrit word as their names, such as Adya, which is Aditya in Sanskrit, meaning the sun. Dynasty, which refers to a specific star or lunar mansion used in traditional astronomical systems. Also, Jibzeng Pagma, which I don't know what that means. It's supposed to be Tibetan origin. We don't give our parents or grandparents names to the children like some Westerners, and most common Mongolian names in Inner Mongolia is single-worded Mongolian. For example, my name is Khargui, Khargui Dardang Jamin Khargui. It means wide and clear road. And since our language is agglutinative language, there can be a lot of possibilities to achieve an artistic effect when naming our kids. For example, my grandpa named my dad Jalgamj, means inherit, my uncle Ilakch means the winner or the conqueror, and my aunt Anar, pomegranate. If you read their names together, they are Jalgamj Ilakchnar, means the successors. My mom's ovog is Oirut, my dad's ovog is Bukhas. So I'm Jalgamjin Oirut Khargui or Jalgamjin Bukhas Khargui. In summary, Mongolian ovog and aimag over the long course of history reflect the exchange and integration of multiple cultures. What about your name? Do you know what your name means? Tell me in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video so that I can see you next time.